topic, that is solution. In our daily life, we are using many types of solutions. We are taking lemonades, cola, sharbat and many more. Now what are these? These are solutions. So let's study about solution. So firstly, what solution is? Solution is basically a homogeneous mixture of two or more substances in which two or more substances combine together to form a homogeneous mixture. About homogeneity, I have already talked about in my previous lecture that what homogeneity means. Throughout the sample, the taste or the texture, it will remain same. For example, if you dissolve a spoon of sugar in a glass of water, okay, you dissolve it and you make a solution. So, what would be the taste of first sip? That is sweet. And what will be the taste of last sip of that sugar solution? It is also same. The first sip and the last sip of the sugar solution is same. It means the solution is homogeneous throughout the sample. Its constituents, it is same. So now let's discuss some more about it. So now solutions are made up of substances, right? So basically the substances from which it is made up of, it is known as components. So what components are? Components are the substances which form the solution. So basically we are having two types of component. One is solute and second one is solvent. So now what this solute and what this solvent is. Firstly, let's understand that what solute is. The substance which is present in less quantity, it is known as solute, and the substance which is present in large quantity, it is known as solvent. Fine? Okay. So here I am taking the example of sugar solution. Fine? So in sugar solution, what you have to do? You will dissolve sugar. You have to dissolve that 1 spoon of sugar in 1 glass of water. Right? In 1 glass of water. Fine? So here you see the quantity of which thing is less, that is sugar. The quantity is less. Here in a water, the water has more quantity. So which will be the solute? Sugar will be the solute because it is in a less quantity. It is dissolved in water. So water is in large quantity. So it is termed as solvent. Another way you can say that the substance which is to be dissolved, is known as solute. मतलब जिस चीज को हमें क्या करना है, डिसॉल्व करना है, उसको हम क्या बोलेंगे, solute. And solvent is what? In which dissolution takes place. जिसमें dissolution हो रही है, जिसमें हम जो sugar को dissolve कर रहे हैं, that is in which dissolution takes place, that is termed as solvent. Fine. So this is about solute and solvent. So what solute is? The substance which is present in lesser quantity or which is to be dissolved, that is known as solute. And what solvent is? The substance which is present in a large quantity in a solution, that is known as solvent, and in which the dissolution takes place, that is known as solvent. So we'll study more about the solutions, that what solutions are and what are the different kinds of solution, what are the different examples of solution. So let's discuss all that points. Now the solutions are also termed as true solutions. Why they are known as true solution? Because the particle size of the solution, the particle size in the solution is less than 10 raised to power minus 9 meter. Okay, or you can say that it is less than 1 nanometer. Nano means 10 raised to power minus 9. Or you can say that it's less than 10 raised to power minus 7 centimeter. It is the size of the particles, okay, in the solution, that is very, very less. So in our day-to-day life, we are dealing with so many types of solution. So here we'll discuss some common examples of the solution. So firstly discuss that is a solid and liquid solution. What solid and liquid solution? There are so many examples. You can see the example of sugar solution. Fine. In which what? In which here I write the solute and the solvent. Fine. The solute and the solvent. Here the solute is sugar. It is solid and the water, and it is dissolved in water. Fine. So solvent is liquid. So it will be a solid and liquid. It will be a solid and liquid solution in which the solid substances are get mixed in the liquids that are known as sugar solution. Next is tincture of iron. What tincture of iron means? It means the solid iodine is dissolved in ethyl alcohol. Fine. It is dissolved in ethyl alcohol. Fine. Here, so what the solute is? Fine. Here what solute is? In the case of this tincture of iron, iodine is solid and ethyl alcohol is liquid. So iodine, that is solid, is dissolved in liquid, and when it is dissolved in alcohol, so it means it is termed as tincture. The word is tincture when the solution is being dissolved in an alcohol. Next is liquid in liquid. You can see the example of dissolution of vinegar in water. You dissolve vinegar in water. What is the state of vinegar? Vinegar is liquid. It means the solute is liquid and water is also liquid. Fine. So it is the example of liquid in liquid. So next is gas in liquid. Gas in liquid means you are drinking colas, right? In which what the gases like carbon dioxide is dissolved in a liquid. In a sweet liquid, you can say that the flavored liquid that is dissolved. So carbon dioxide is what? It is a gas and it is dissolved in a liquid. Fine. Soda, you can say that in soda also there is a presence of gas in a liquid. So it will be termed as gas in liquid solution, right? So all these four examples, these are known as liquid solutions. Fine. Why these are known as liquid solutions? Because the solvent here is liquid. Fine. So this is the example. Next is gas in gas. So gas in gas, it is also a solution. Fine. At a microscopic or at a particle level, you can say that air. Air is a mixture of gases. So air is a gas in gas solution in which the solute is also gas and the solvents that are also gas. So it is a gas in gas. Gas in gas. Okay. So the next is solid in liquid. So solid in liquid, we can consider the example of alloys. Okay. Alloys are the example of solid in solid solutions. Fine. Alloys, you can see the example of brass. Brass is basically composed of copper and zinc. It is composed of copper and zinc. So it is also a solution. Why it is termed as solution? One thing, it is a very interesting point about the metal alloys. I am talking about metal alloys. Now these metal alloys are termed as solutions. Fine. Why they are termed as solution? Or you can see that this is a homogeneity also. Homogeneous solution, because what homogeneous means? It is throughout the sample the composition is same. You take a piece of brass, okay, in which the composition of copper and zinc throughout the brass is same. Fine. So it means it is a homogeneous and it is solution. Fine. It is also, metal alloys are also termed as mixtures. Why they are mixtures? You know the properties of the mixture. In which properties of mixtures we have done that the components of the mixture, they show the properties, right? The properties of the components are being shown in the mixtures. So that is why alloys are also termed as mixtures. In example of copper and zinc. Okay, जो brass है उसमें क्या है, copper भी है और zinc भी है. ब्रास के केस में कॉपर अपनी प्रॉपर्टीज शो करेगा और जिंक भी अपनी प्रॉपर्टीज शो करेगा. दैट इज व्हाई द alloy that is termed as mixture. Fine. So next we will do some more about the mixtures. So this is all about some examples of the mixture. Next I will do the different types. You can say that the different kinds of solution we are having. We are having two kinds of solution. One is aqueous and second one is non-aqueous. Now what does aqueous and non-aqueous mean? Aqueous solution means in which the solvent is water. If the solvent is water, the solute is being dissolved in water, then the solution is to be known as aqueous solution. If the solvent is other than water, fine. If the solvent is other than water, then it will be known as non-aqueous solution. Other than liquid means it may be alcohol, okay, alcohol, carbon disulfide, carbon tetrachloride, right, benzene, and many more, etc., etc. They all are other than water. So it means the solution in which we have used these alcohol, carbon disulfide, CCl4 or benzene, that type of solutions are known as non-aqueous solution. In which we have used water for making the solution, that type of solutions are known as aqueous solution. Example, you can see that sugar is dissolved in water, then it will be known as a aqueous solution. If we dissolve the sugar in alcohol, if I dissolve sugar in alcohol, so that type of solution formed is known as non-aqueous solution. So this is all about aqueous and non-aqueous. So now we will discuss about the different properties of solution. So what are that properties? Let's check. Now see the properties of solution. The first property of the solution is the solutions are homogeneous in nature. Now what this homogeneity means, this I have already talked about again and again. Homogeneity means throughout the sample the composition is same. Okay, so the composition is same throughout the sample. It is not changed. Fine. The same example, if you have taken 100 ml of sugar solution. Fine, you have taken 100 ml of sugar solution and you take it and you check the sweetness. Fine, you check the sweetness of this. Now you take the 10 ml solution from it. You will observe the same sweetness will be there. It means that the sugar solution is homogeneous in nature. Fine. So see the next property. Next property is size of the particles. The size of the particles, it is less than 10 raised to power minus 9 meter. Okay, it is also known as 1 nanometer. Here small n means nano. Fine. And what did nano means? Nano means 10 raised to power minus 9. Or the size of the particle, it is also 10 raised to power minus 7 centimeter. The size of the particle is very, very less. So that is why we cannot see the particles with the help of naked eye. Fine. With the help of naked eye, we cannot see the particles because the size of the particle is very, very, very less. Okay. So now, as the size of the particle is very, very small, so the next property related to it is that is why the particles, they can easily pass through the filter paper. Simple filter paper, the solution can be passed. You can also do the same. You can take the sugar solution or salt solution, you dissolve it and pass through a simple filter paper. You will observe that it will easily pass through the filter because the size of the particles is very, very less. So the next property is the solutions are known as stable. Because in some cases we will see that solute settle down. Okay, so in same example, in a sugar solution, have you ever observed that if you have dissolved a sugar in a water and you after some time you will observe that sugar particles settle down? No, it not happens. So it means the solutions are stable in nature. Next is they do not scatter a beam of light. Whenever you pass a beam of light, through a solution, they do not show the path. Okay, so the path is not visible. Why? Because path is not visible. Why? Because the particles of the solution, they do not scatter the beam of light. So the path of the light is not visible through the solution. Through solution, it is not visible. Okay, so it is not visible. Here it will come, but here you are not able to see the path of the light. These are the properties of the solution. Now let's discuss some more about the solution, and the next we are going to discuss, that is the concentration of solution, that what concentration means. So that concentration topic is very, very important. So see carefully. Now you have heard about two types of words in the chemistry, that the solution is dilute or it is concentrated. Now what does concentration means? Concentration basically means the amount of solute present in a solvent. Okay, so we'll express what concentration means. Concentration means कि कितना amount of solute जो है वो present है. अगर solute की quantity ज़्यादा है, if the amount of the solute is more, then you will say that solution is concentrated. Fine. And if the amount of the solute is less, you will say that the solution is dilute. Fine. The two words you are having, concentrated, dilute, it all depends on the amount of solute. Either the amount of the solute is more or less. If it is more, then we will call it as concentrated. If the amount of solute is less, you will call it as a dilute. So we'll express the concentration in different ways. The first way we can express concentration, and what concentration means, it is the amount of solute per amount of solution. Means a particular amount of solution, what amount of solute is present, that is concentration. Or another way we can also define concentration as the amount of solute in amount of solvent. कि एक amount of solvent में how much amount of solute is present. So in this way also we can express. Now we have to find out the concentration, or you can say that we have to express the concentration in a different manner. So we'll do that. We are having two ways. In our syllabus we are having two ways to express the concentration. So we'll express the concentration in two ways. The one way is, that is mass percentage of solute. That we have to find out the mass percentage of solute. How we can find out the mass percentage of solute? Mass percentage of solute means that is the mass of solute, to the mass of solution into 100. Because I am finding percentage, so that is why I have written 100 there. So this is the mass of the solute to the mass of solution. Here the mass of the solution means mass of the solution. It means it is the sum of mass of solvent plus mass of solute. सोल्यूट और सॉल्वेंट के मास को ऐड करेंगे तो हमारे पास क्या आएगा? मास ऑफ सॉल्यूशन. So this is the first way to express concentration or to find out the concentration. We will use these results. Okay. So this is the first way. This is the mass percentage of the solute. For example, you can say that is the 20. You can say that 20% of sugar, 20% of sugar. Okay, so what it means? It simply means that 20 gram of sugar, it means that 20 gram of sugar is dissolved in, or you can say that it is 20 gram of solution in 10 gram of what? 10 gram of solution. फाइन, हमारे पास 100 ग्राम का सोल्यूशन है, उसमें से 20 ग्राम क्या है? हमारी शुगर है. और यू कैन से दैट इज द 20 ग्राम शुगर प्लस 80 ग्राम ऑफ वाटर. फाइन, दिस वे आल्सो वी कैन राइट. सो this is the first method. We will discuss this method while doing the numericals. So let's see the second method, that how we can express the concentration. The second is the volume percentage. Volume percentage of solute. Fine. It is the volume percentage of solute. Simply it means the volume of, if the solute and the solvents are in liquid phase, then only we will use the volume. That is the volume of solute to the volume of solvent, volume of solute to the volume of solvent into 100. This is the second way when we can express the volume percentage. If it is given, that is the 20% alcohol solution. Fine. It is given 20% alcohol solution. What it simply means? 20% alcohol solution means that 20 ml alcohol in 100 ml of solution. Right? 100 ml solution में 20 ml क्या है? Alcohol है. This way only. So now this is the two ways that we can express the concentration, that mass percentage and the volume percentage. Now let's explore some more concentration while doing the numericals. That in numerical problems, how we can use these two results. Now let's discuss that numericals. Now let's see the first numerical problem. See the statement what is given. A solution contains 30 gram of common salt dissolved in 350 gram of water. Calculate the concentration of the solution. So firstly, in this question, what is given? In it is given that we have a 30 gram of common salt, and that 30 gram of common salt we are going to dissolve in 350 gram of water. So what is given? So firstly write down the mass of solute. So the solute is, here solute is common salt. The mass of the solute is given, that is 30 gram. And what is the mass of solvent? In what amount of solvent is it is given, that is 350 gram. Okay, so you know the formula for the mass of solution. Yes, the mass, what is the mass of solution? If mass of the solution means that is mass of solute plus mass of solvent. Fine. Mass of solute is given to you, that is 30 gram, and the mass of solvent is 350 gram. So the mass of the solution will be 380 gram. What you have to find? You have to find out the concentration. So what concentration? Concentration percent, you can say that by the mass percent, you can say by mass percent, right? Mass percent of the solute. It means the mass of solute present in the mass of solution. We are talking about concentration of the solution. That is why we are taking here solution into 100. So the mass of solute is 30. Mass of the solution is 380 into 100. Whenever you solve it, it will be 7.89%. It means 7.89% of common salt is dissolved in a 380 gram of a solution. So this is the first numerical. Let's explore some more numericals. Now see the different approach and different numerical of the second numerical. calculate the mass by volume percent of 20% solution by mass of sulfuric acid and density is given to you. While the first read, many of you are not able to understand and what is given and what you have to find. Firstly, what is given, we'll solve it and write it. We have to calculate the mass by volume percent. First thing, what we have to calculate? We have to calculate mass by volume percent. Mass by volume percent means that mass of the solute to the volume of solution into 100. Fine. So now what mass of the solute is, whether it is given or what is the solution. Now let's rate this we have to find. This we have to calculate. Next is 20% solution by mass. 20% solution by mass. So concentration here is given. That is 20% by mass of sulfuric acid. What it means? It means that 20 gram of sulfuric acid is present in 100 gram of solution. Fine, it is present in 100 gram of solution. So from here you will conclude that what is the mass of solute? Here the solute is sulfuric acid H2SO4 and the mass of the solute is 20 gram. The first thing I have calculated. Fine. Next what I have to calculate? I have to calculate the volume of solution. How we can find out the volume of solution? The mass of the solute is 20 gram and the mass of solvent is given to you, that is 100 gram. But we have to find the volume. We are not dealing with the mass, we are dealing with the volume. So you know the formula for density. Here density is equals to mass per unit volume. Density क्या होती है? Mass per unit volume. From here can you find volume? Yes, volume is equals to mass over density. Fine, mass over density. I'll simply cross it. Fine. So now what is the volume of the solution? Mass of the solution is 20. Mass of the solution is 100. Mass of the solution here I am talking about, not the solute. Mass of the solution or your solvent, you can say that. Mass of the solvent or solution. Okay, here I will write solution only. Fine, not solvent, solution. And here is the density of solution. Mass of the solution is 100 and what is the density? That is given 1.10. When you solve it, it will be 90.9. It will be 90.9 ml. So the volume of solution is 90.9 ml. So volume of the solution you got? Yes, you have got the volume of solution. I have got the mass of the solution also. Fine. We are having the mass of solute. Mass of the solute is 20 gram and the volume is, here the volume is, that is 90.9. Now can you able to find the mass by volume percent? Yes, you can easily find out. Just substitute the values here. Okay. So substitute these two values here. What you will get? Mass of the solution is 20. Volume is 90.9 into 100. Whenever you solve it, it will come 22.0%. So the mass by volume percent of this question is, that is of this particular solution is 20%.